Sportball guys, we're live. We're recording. Whatever you want, however you want to view it. I'm Justin,
This is Brandon.
and we're back with episode 2. Last time we talked about the NBA draft.
Mm-hmm.
This time we're talking about the NFL season, 2024, 2025.
The bully on the block. You're back again, starting in 25 minutes.
Yeah, I didn't
The
even
Taylor
know.
Swift show that only pop culture fans care about.
Yeah, so
It's
we're
about
gonna
to start.
we're gonna predict who wins this season. We're gonna predict who wins each division, who wins the Super Bowl,
Mm-hmm.
yada yada yada. And I'm just gonna go ahead and end the show right now in the next 6 seconds by saying Taylor Swift wins. So thanks for
MVP.
watching. Yes, MVP and Rookie of the Year. She didn't play enough last year to qualify, so Rookie of the Year. So that's the show. Thanks for watching. We'll see you later.
I don't quite share the same opinion, so stay tuned.
But
And we want feedback in the comments. We want to keep this thing going.
yes,
It's a
yes,
long
y'all,
season.
yeah, y'all make sure to look us up on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Sportball guys, and yeah, comment. Let us know what you think.
And thank you for the feedback on the NBA draft one. So I expect even more because let's face it, everybody loves NFL the most for this exact thing right here.
And I think it's because it's the easiest to follow because
Yes.
pretty much all the games, well, now it's getting kind of ridiculous, but
Mhm.
pretty much all the games are within like 2 days, 3 days. So now
Bad on the players.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's getting kind of ridiculous now that it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. But
Yes.
when it used to be Sunday and Monday, it was pretty simple. When one game came on Thursday, okay. But either way, it's still the easiest to follow, which is awesome.
Mhm.
And yeah, we're going to predict a lot of predictions here. We're going to throw out some hot takes. We're going to see what happens. And y'all comment, tell us if we're correct, tell us if we're wrong, tell us if you have better predictions because you might. And I've talked myself into changing my prediction because the one I had earlier today, I did not like, and I kind of hated myself and was like, Justin, you can't do this. So
Yes.
just gonna go ahead and throw that out there, and I'll tell you what my original prediction was later on at the end of the show. But for now, I will say I did change it since we talked earlier. So there you go.
That's not a good sign for you. You gotta know. You gotta know who's
Man,
gonna do what and when.
Well,
And
you
I'm
know,
a total liar for saying everything I just said because we have no clue what's really gonna happen.
no, we have no idea. We have no idea, and I'm kind of when my team is not predicted to do well,
Mhm.
I'm less interested.
Same here.
So yeah, and as a Vikings fan, we're not gonna do that well this year possibly. And you're a
Yes.
Steelers fan.
I am,
Yeah.
and when you have two quarterbacks, it really means you have none.
Yeah, yeah. Y'all have two, really?
We got one they say is the future, and one that, well, I will be honest, he's had an awesome career, but he's at the end of it and he's declining. He's a shorter Cam Newton now. So
Should've
we'll
played-
see what happens.
Should have stuck to baseball. He is the best Wisconsin quarterback ever, though, in the NFL. I will say
Hey, he won a Super Bowl and threw the greatest pass ever in the next one. So,
the interception.
oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah, the great play call. All right, so we're gonna take it division by division here. We're gonna start off with the NFC because, well, I'm kind of in charge of the show and I'm an NFC fan. So we're gonna go with the North first, also
Mhm.
because once again I pay attention to the North the most as a Vikings fan, and I guess I'll go first on this one then. So
Jump
my
in, I
prediction
can't wait.
is you got the 4 teams: Chicago, Detroit, Green Bay, and Minnesota.
Yes.
Obviously, I think my Vikings can go a lot of different ways.
Okay.
I think we can surprise people, maybe go like 10-7.
Mm-hmm.
I think we could really suck and get like a top 5 draft pick. So my prediction for the Vikings is I think we finish 7-10 right in the middle of the division. I think the Bears might still be the worst team in that division, which is kind of crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I think the two best teams in that division, which everybody kind of agrees with, is Detroit and Green Bay.
Yes.
And I hate to say it, but I'm gonna go with Green Bay.
Ooh.
I hate myself for it because
Ouch.
I hate Green Bay. I really truly hate I've always hated them ever since Brett Favre was there. The guy from There's Something About Mary.
Don't you hate your entire division though? Isn't that supposed how
Well,
it's
yeah.
supposed to work?
Well, yeah, but
Okay.
but you kind of feel bad for the Lions because they've made one playoff appearance in like 200 years. So you kind of hate
They're
them
the
a-
darling story, but like even
Yeah.
as
Well, I
like
mean, I still hate them, but you hate them a little less. Like
Yeah.
you're like, okay, like they can get their shine.
it's a
But
good story.
yeah, but I'm taking the Packers to win the NFC North.
Hey, I don't hate your pick.
I just feel like, man, I don't know, man. I just something about the Packers, man. They're just always there. The media kind of loves them. They don't want to admit it, but the media does love them.
They have the best quarterback in the division.
I mean, yeah. I'm not going to argue with that either.
I really believe that. I mean,
and
I'm a golf fan, but
yeah,
I think Jordan Love is
and
serious.
we might have the worst quarterback in the division with
Who is the quarterback?
Sam Darnold.
I thought so
Sam Darnold,
because
yeah.
J.J. McCarthy is hurt.
Yeah, but I think we were going to go with Darnold anyways. I think he was. I think
Owie.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, I don't
Plenty of
mind.
Carolina fans can tell you exactly how that one
Yeah, I
went.
don't mind sitting a rookie quarterback if it means you still because he's not a rookie quarterback's never gonna win you the Super Bowl.
Has Sam Darnold even won 7 games in his career?
Well, no, he played for the Jets and the Panthers, so probably not. I mean, he played for the
Actually, well, yeah, he did go to the Super Bowl last year.
Did he?
He was on the 49ers, yes.
Oh wow, yeah, right. All right, so prediction number one, I
All right.
took the Packers in the NFC North,
Very cool.
and I take the Vikings to go 7-10. Brandon, give us who you predict to win and what you think about my thoughts.
Gotcha. Okay. As far as your thoughts go, do you want me to start with the one that's going to break your heart or
Yeah, that's fine.
disagree with you? Break
Either
your
one
heart?
breaks my heart.
I
Yeah.
don't see 7 wins out of your team.
Well, you know.
I understand you have Justin Jefferson. He's an animal. You got good players.
Oh, yeah.
You got Hawkinson, but you have Sam Darnold.
Yeah, Hawkinson's also out for probably the first 4
Oh,
to 6
this
weeks.
is true.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you for reminding
yeah.
me of that. I mean, I know I've seen. I mean, there's going to be so many weird things happen. This whole show might go totally off the rails by week 4.
And I'm okay with that.
Me too. Trust me. I don't want my prediction to come true at all. Okay, it's noted. So, I mean, I see about a 4-13 team because I just don't believe in Sam Darnold enough. Now, I wouldn't hate it if he totally, proved us all wrong and pulled an Alex Smith and all of a sudden got good and had a good end of his career.
I like that.
I just don't see it. So, as far as my prediction, I love their weapons. I love everything about them. I love their story. We just kind of talked about it a second ago because I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now the best running back in the NFC is going to show why they're going to win the division. I'm a believer in Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah.
I think Jahmyr Gibbs is an absolute stud. I had picked him in fantasy a few times last year.
Good pick.
Won me good money, scored a lot of points. And I believe in Jared Goff. I believe in St. Brown. I believe in their coach, except for you should have kicked the field goals against San Francisco, but whatever.
Which
that's
is
over.
which is one reason why I think they kind of drop a little bit this year because I think their coach kind of goes the other way now. Yeah.
They need to be a little, but he needed to be. No, I actually love his regular season game, but his playoff game, he needed to kick the field goals. But we're so far past that. I believe in everything about him. Detroit Lions.
Nice.
Detroit
All right.
Lions.
So we disagree on the first one there.
All right, that makes it fun.
Yeah, I got the Packers. You got the Lions.
Yes.
We'll move on then to the NFC East, or least, the NFC least, as the people called it for years.
They're not the worst NFC division.
But they got the Cowboys, Giants, Eagles, and Redskins. We'll let you go first this time.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So this is a team that 2 years ago was ridiculous. They went to the Super Bowl. Kind of spoiled it right there for you. But that's okay. I'll explain why. They had a great start to the season last year, 10-0. They were one of the only undefeated teams left, and then everything just, I don't know. They just quit playing. There was a disconnect in the locker room, but maybe they're past that because I believe in Jalen Hurts. One concern I have for them, to be honest with you, with Jason Kelce retiring, the center is the absolute general of the offensive line. Any NFL game is won in the trenches.
Mhm.
Offense and defensive line. Yes, the touchdowns are fun, the great runs, the interceptions, whatever. Games are won and lost in the trenches. And with Jason Kelce retiring, that's concerning for me for them.
Yeah, does that QB sneak work as good now?
I don't think
that's-
so.
that's
I
good.
think that play is now null and void. Plus, it got stopped for the first time
Yeah.
against Tampa last
Yeah,
year.
they finally figured it out. Yeah.
Sure, just had to get lower and get stronger.
Yeah.
But with Jason Kelce gone, but yeah, I believe so much in Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. This is still a tough team. They just got Saquon Barkley. I mean, their running game. I mean, basically you got 2 serious running backs back there with Jalen Hurts and Saquon. That's a 2-headed monster you don't want to have to deal with. He doesn't have to throw that many passes.
No.
They're going to move the ball. And they have a pretty good defense. But I think it's good enough to win this crap division.
And
So I'm picking the Eagles.
yeah, and I'm just gonna go ahead and say I agree. I think it's the Eagles also.
Okay.
We agree on this
Okay.
one. I think pretty much I kind of talked myself into them, really. I don't think they're as good as you do,
Mm-hmm.
but I definitely think they win the division because I think Washington is still gonna suck.
Okay.
I think they're probably a top 5 pick next year. I think the Giants, also top 5 pick, maybe the number 1 pick, honestly. I think if betting odds, I would take the Giants to be the number 1 pick. And then the Cowboys, they're never going to win with Dak. So
Yes, completely agree.
yeah, so I can't take them. So really, I'm just kind of taking the Eagles because I dislike the other three
They
teams
have a
so
good
much.
defense, though. I mean,
Yeah, oh yeah,
Cowboys are going to be in a lot of games, and I'm
yeah.
not going to say they're totally out of the
Oh
race of
no,
this
not at all.
division, but
No, not at
I
all.
think they'll get second.
Yeah, well, yeah. But again, out of elimination from the other, like it's not.
Hey,
This division's like, okay, who's bad? Okay, good, but there's no good team. Like I don't think the Eagles are a good team. I think the Eagles lose in the first round of the playoffs,
oh,
but I think they're the best out of these four teams. So yeah, we agree. We agree on that one.
we
So
agree on that one,
we
but we
agree on it.
definitely won't agree later in the show, so it's going to be great.
Well, there we go. I like it. I like it. So we'll move on to the NFC South, which
Oh, the world.
we should know a lot about because we are here in Carolina. We are in Ric Flair country. I'm not gonna say Panther country because we don't have enough fans to be a country. The Panther fans are kind of like a town, I think.
You know, they
Like,
actually
yeah,
did a poll of the most hated team in North Carolina, and it is
yeah.
the Panthers.
Oh yeah, I believe it. Yeah, I believe it.
More than
So
Duke.
yeah, yeah. So I'll
So,
go first this time. Who
yeah.
I predict to win the NFC South, and basically, once again, I think it's kind of like process of elimination here. So I'm not going to take the Panthers because once again, I feel like top five draft pick coming.
Mm-hmm.
Um, New Orleans, I think, is just going to be bad this year. I think
Oh,
they're due.
okay.
I think they're due a bad year, and they're kind of been trending in that direction slowly. And I think
Mm-hmm.
now it just kind of okay, slowly, but now it's a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And Tampa, I like Baker. Love Baker.
I think he's the best quarterback in the division.
I agree. I agree with that. I 100% agree with that. But he doesn't have the weapons that Atlanta has. So I'm going with Atlanta. I love what they have done. And it's Kirk Cousins is never really on a bad team.
No.
And at the end of the day, I think Atlanta believes in Kirk more than Tampa believes in Baker. And I think that's what it's going to come down to. So I'm going to take Atlanta. But I think this could be actually the most exciting division because I think there is a scenario where all four teams are still in it going into like the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, how pathetic that is.
Well, yeah, it tells you that the winning team has 9 wins. Probably the winning team probably goes 9-8. I mean, honestly, like I think Atlanta might win with 9-8.
Yeah.
But I'm taking Atlanta. I think Atlanta
Okay.
Falcons win the NFC South.
And I'm with you.
We
I'm
agree
fully,
again.
yeah,
Yeah.
and but I think this is a team that if I really was a gambling junkie,
Yeah.
I would right now lay down and get odds on them absolutely losing their first playoff game.
Oh yeah.
I don't care who they play. It's not going to make a difference.
Yeah.
I mean, I think even in that big Georgia Dome or whatever the world they call it now, Mercedes-Benz,
Yeah.
that
It's
this
the Georgia
team,
Dome.
they're good, but they have got a really struggling division, and I think you nailed it with New Orleans.
Yeah, yeah. I think it just finally just hits a cliff.
But
Yeah.
I don't think they'll be the worst team in the division.
Well, no, Carolina's still the worst team.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, yeah. I'm just saying New Orleans. They kind of been. They were up here for a while. Then they
Mhm.
kind of like it's been like very slowly. Now I think this year just finally they hit the cliff.
I will say one thing about Carolina, though, and nobody can fault this. They actually went out and helped the receiving corps.
Yeah.
You know,
They're better
I
than
like
last year.
Xavier Legette. I think that guy's actually going to be a stud. Will it be for Carolina? I mean, I hope so. I don't completely pull against the home team. I do want them to win games. I really do. The city's more tolerable when they're good because there's so many fans here.
It makes going to the games more fun.
Absolutely, it really does. But they still got a lot of learning curve. Bryce Young is still traumatized from last year,
I,
and it's not his fault. He first off they made a bad number one pick.
oh
The
yeah.
number two pick should have been the number one pick.
Yeah, or
And
they
now we
should,
see that.
or they should have just waited until this year to take a
I
quarterback.
agree with that too.
Yeah, could have got the hometown guy, Drake May. Just saying. Just saying.
I mean,
More people would go watch him play.
I don't know. I still think Bryce. We'll get into the AFC part of that,
Yeah.
but either way, that's where I am on the NFC South. But it could be a decent year for Carolina.
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
could win
but
5 games.
this is also a team that was two plays away from being 0-17
Yeah.
convincingly. So I'm not there on saying they're the third place team yet, but we'll see what the season brings, man.
Yeah, it's gonna, like I said, it could be a weird, exciting division because none of those teams really stick out. That's the
No,
first division where none of the teams really, like I said, even the Eagles kind of stick out in that division, but nobody sticks out in the South. Let's go to the West now. You got the Rams, the Cardinals, the Niners, and the Seahawks.
hmm
We'll let you go first, and I'm pretty sure we probably agree on this one as well.
I mean, I still think they're the best team in the NFC on a roster, especially since they signed Brandon Ayuk back. Good move,
Yeah.
Niners.
Good deal too, really.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Very manageable. So, I mean, yeah, I don't. I mean, I have a team in here I definitely have my eye on, but no, they're far and away better.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Niners honestly might run away with that division.
It could.
And I'm not sold on any of those other teams. It wouldn't surprise me if the other three teams in that
But
division finished below 500.
oh,
Like, I mean, I'm not sold on
well,
Arizona.
okay.
I'm not sold on Arizona at all. I think they have a baseball player playing quarterback. I think the Seahawks, I don't really know what they're doing. The Rams, they're iffy. You know,
I mean, I think Matt Stafford's still the best QB in that whole division.
yes, absolutely, yeah, absolutely. I mean, the guy's a Hall of Famer.
Yes.
Yeah. I agree. Which is why I think the Rams are iffy. The Rams
Okay.
easily could surprise people and get 11 wins.
I mean, my thought is actually with the Seahawks. I actually think they have a. I mean, I think Geno Smith is a good enough quarterback to get you a wild card spot if he doesn't make a bunch of mistakes, as their running game is
Yeah,
great. They might have, he's definitely, I'd say a top two or three, no, probably a top five receiver in DK Metcalf.
yeah,
So
top
I
three.
do believe in the Seahawks. I think, and we'll get further into that,
Yeah,
but
I mean, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with believing in the Seahawks. For me, I'm just kind of a little confused on where they're at. Like, they're too
hmm
hard to predict, I think, with what they kind of got going on. But yeah, that's the NFC. That's our four NFC teams. I got Green Bay, Philadelphia, Atlanta, and San Fran, and
yes.
you pretty much have three out of the four. The only difference is you got Detroit instead of Green Bay. And
hmm
let's go on and predict some surprises, a good surprise and a bad surprise for the NFC. I'll go first on the
All
good.
right.
I'll go
Jump
first on
all
the good.
over it.
A team that I think could surprise people, and this is mostly because of the bad division.
hmm
And this team could sneak into the playoffs. I'm going to go with the New York Giants. I
Hey.
think maybe there's some world in which they got Malik Neighbors, and maybe there's some world in which somehow they jump up and win 9 or 10 games because their division's that bad.
I mean, they're not in a lightning rod division. I
No,
mean,
but
I'm with you on that.
yeah, there's a world in which they could
Okay.
easily win 5 division games, which means that they most likely get to double digit wins.
I've seen crazier things
Yeah,
happen.
so it would not surprise me at all if the Giants somehow we get to January and they're in the playoffs. That's my one bold prediction for the NFC, the good way.
I learned about 12 or 13 years ago that truly anything can be possible in the NFL. I
Yeah.
watched a 1 in 15 Dolphins team the very next year go 11 and 5 and get into the playoffs. They lost
Yeah.
first round, but think about it. You were 1 in 15 and all of a sudden in 1 year you're 11 and 5.
Yeah,
So don't tell me it can't happen.
exactly.
Do I agree with Justin?
No.
No, but at the same time, it's not totally out of the realm of impossibility.
That's why we're calling it a bold
Exactly, it's a
prediction.
bold
Yeah,
prediction.
so let's see what's your good bold prediction.
Seattle Seahawks. I
There
just
you go.
talked about
There
them.
you
I
go.
really think this. Okay, it's 100% on Geno Smith.
Oh yeah.
I've seen that man throw up 40 to 50 points in fantasy a few times, so I know this team can score. The question is, can they stop anybody? And they have a lot of good talent. Like I said, we just mentioned Kenneth Walker III, Zach Charbonnet. They got DK Metcalf. They still have, gosh,
Tyler
been
Lockett.
there. Yes, he's been there 1,000 years. Um, so yeah, no, they have a ton of talent, and it wouldn't shock me if they snuck in and took a 5 or 6 seed,
Yeah, and I can agree
or
with
actually,
that.
and even a 7 seed. I keep
Yeah.
forgetting there's
Yeah,
14 now.
yeah. I can agree with your bold prediction there. I can see the Seahawks jumping up there as
All right.
well. They probably make more sense than my bold prediction, but let's go on the bad way. On the bad way,
Hey.
what's a team that a lot of people are predicting to be good that you think could go the opposite way?
Well, see, I kind of went a different way. I went with a bad team that I'm still predicting to be bad
Okay, that's fine.
because a lot of people around the area, out of nowhere, all of a sudden think they're going to be good.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of going off of what you people say. But that's Carolina.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
A
they're gonna
lot
be
of
bad.
people, and listen, they did acquire Deontay Johnson from my Steelers. I hate that, but they did, and it's okay. They Panthers, you won that trade. We got Dante Jackson
Yeah.
in lieu of Deontay Johnson, so you got a good, capable receiver there. Adam Thielen, older.
Yeah.
I mean, you know all about him, Justin. He was on your team.
Yeah,
He was a good player.
I was fine with losing them.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people put too much faith in Thielen.
Yeah.
I do like Xavier Legette, not just because of how he talks,
Yeah, he
because the guy can absolutely stretch a field, and he's like a wide receiver version of Cam,
yeah.
a little smaller, but same kind of thing. So you got some explosive talent, but I still don't think Bryce is there yet. I still don't think the defensive line is there yet. I understand a lot of people are excited that Clowney is here. You're going to tell me that Clowney's better than losing Brian Burns? I mean, listen, I love Clowney. I'm glad he's from Rock Hill, South Carolina, but he's 10 to what, 10, 8, 9, 10 years in?
Man, all I gotta
He's
say
been a
about Clowney,
while.
is if he didn't have that one great play in college, he would still just be a middle of the run player.
I
I mean,
mean,
honestly, I think he's a
I'm
middle of the
not,
pack player. He just had one of the best plays
I'm
ever.
just
That's it.
not sold they can stop
Yeah.
anybody. That's
No,
the
yeah. Oh,
problem.
yeah.
I mean, you could,
And their offense isn't going to outscore. Like they're not going to
no,
win 35-30.
no. I don't think so either.
Yeah,
So Carolina, you're my bad on that.
I'm okay with that. I'll be shocked if they win 5 games. My
Yeah.
bad.
Hey,
This is my really big what?
I can't wait.
This is my really big bold prediction. This is it. This is the show stealer.
Oh no.
A team that I think could go a lot worse than people are predicting. Detroit Lions. I think there's a timeline in which the Lions this year finished below 500.
Okay.
I think they got close to the mountaintop, and sometimes that can mess people up. Sometimes getting close could be worse than winning. Like if they had won the whole thing last year, I might still believe in them this year. But they got close, and the way that they lost, I just feel like maybe mentally it just messes with a lot of them. And I think there's a timeline in which they finished third in that division. I think there's a
Okay.
yeah, and
What's the
that's
record? I want to hear the
I
record.
think that they could finish 7-9 or 7-10. I really do. I really do. Or 8-9. I think they could finish below 500.
I can't wait
Yeah,
to read these
I
comments.
really do. I really think Detroit can. I think Detroit can kind of fall apart. Honestly,
I,
I
I,
think it can happen.
I get that. I
Yeah.
do. And like I said, we can address that later, but I believe so much in their coach, Justin.
Yeah, I like
I
their coach.
believe in that leader of men. And that's why I feel like he's going to keep them playing because they got a taste of it. Do you stop at just one taste of good food? Oh, no, you keep going.
Yeah,
So, but I've seen stuff like him.
yeah.
I mean, the 15-1 Panthers, everybody swore would come back.
What were they next year? Like
6
6-10?
and 10.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I think that's my super bold prediction
All right.
for the NFC. So
Love that.
let's move to the AFC now. Let's
Hey.
move to the AFC now. We'll go with the AFC North
All
because
right.
that's your Steelers division,
Yes.
and I'll let you go first this time since it's your division.
All right. I appreciate
Yeah,
that. I'm going to go ahead and start with my last place Steelers.
yeah.
Go ahead and get that out of the way. There's not much to talk about.
I'm gonna.
And it's not because they're a bad team. I think this is hands down the most loaded division in all of football
Yeah.
from top to bottom. Every single team last year was over 500.
And it could probably happen where all
Yeah.
three or the four are in, maybe all four again. Yeah.
And in my prediction, we're going to go from worst to first. Yes, those Cincinnati Bengals last year were still winning games with Jake Browning, but now they got Joey B back. And people can say what they want, but that Joey B is a bad man. He still has Jamar Chase. They lost Joe Mixon.
Yeah, that's huge.
That is huge.
Yeah.
However, running backs nowadays, when they feel like they need to prove themselves, seem to step up, and you always get one out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's a very expendable position now. That's the only good thing about
Crazy.
running back. And they have short lifespans, so it may not have been a bad thing. But I think the Bengals, in a very tight race with the Ratbirds, will get that division. They're going to snag a 13-4 record.
I like that. I mean, I kind of like the your prediction on the Steelers being last in the
Mhm.
division. I think the Steelers are also last in that division, and yeah, it wouldn't surprise me actually if they finished last by like a lot. Not because I think they're that bad. I think just the other three teams are that good. Like I think the Steelers could go like 1-5 in that division.
Oh,
Like
I firmly believe it.
which is crazy because outside the division they could win 6 games, but inside that division I could see where they go 1-5.
I think any team in this, excuse me, I'm
Yeah,
sorry, I'm going to
no.
make this point right quick. I think any team in that division could win the NFC East or the NFC South.
Yeah,
Any of
yeah,
them.
yeah.
All four of them.
Yeah.
Especially the top two.
Yeah, for sure. Cleveland, I'm still not sold on Deshaun Watson, so I think they're a good team. I just don't think they're quite there with these other two teams. So I think it is between Cincinnati and Baltimore, and sadly, I hate myself for doing it because I really hate this team, but I got to go with Baltimore. I don't know why. I just feel like this is that they did good last year in the regular
Oh
season,
yeah.
and I feel like they continue that trend this year in the regular
Mm-hmm.
season. And I think it starts actually with this first game, possibly. I think maybe they shock Taylor Swift and start off with a W. But yeah, I'm taking Baltimore in that division, but I think it's going to be a tight race, and it could come down to just being like a tiebreaker,
Yeah.
between them and Cincinnati. So I definitely think it's a two-horse race, really. I think Cleveland is the third team, but they're a few games back.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll disagree. We'll disagree there,
All
just like we
right.
did last time. We'll
That's a
disagree.
logical one though,
Yeah,
because I
that's
don't hate your pick. I
no, yeah,
mean,
and I don't hate your pick.
Lamar's still he's still the MVP,
Yeah,
and they got good players, and they got Derrick Henry.
yeah,
So I mean, it's
exactly,
a
which
good
helps them a
pick.
lot. Yeah,
Sure.
yeah. So yeah, both those teams are super
Mm-hmm.
strong. So let's move on to the AFC East now.
All
You have the
right.
Bills, the Dolphins, the Patriots, and the
Those
Jets.
guys.
I'll go first this
All
time.
right.
So New England, we're just gonna go ahead and scratch them off. Even though I love Drake May, we're gonna scratch them
Wow.
off. Man, I don't know. The other three teams are. I think Buffalo. I think I don't. They've been there. They've been at the top for a while. The Jets finally have a healthy Aaron Rodgers, but I'm actually going to go Miami. I think Miami
Okay.
makes that move. I think somehow they sneak up there and win that division. I think I like the pieces that they got. I like the parts that they got, and it's just hard for me to pick Aaron Rodgers to win anything. So that kind of rules the Jets out. So I got to go Miami on
All
this one,
right.
like just because I don't know. And people call me crazy for picking them. I'm fine with that because I don't even believe in that. Out of all the picks I've made so far, that's the one I believe in the least. Like
Okay.
I believe in Miami the least out of all the other winners I've taken, but I'm taking Miami just because I can't take Aaron Rodgers. That's pretty much what it comes down to.
I'm not taking Aaron Rodgers because he's 73 years old and he was off all last season. He's coming back from an injury
Yeah.
and he's a fragile little glass slipper now. I'm sorry. Like, listen, nobody loved. I believe it. I didn't love him because of Green Bay or anything, but I loved watching him play.
Yeah.
As the best quarterback I've ever seen in person. Period, by far. But he's not that guy anymore. It's done, and they're gonna find out. They're gonna be subpar. They won't be the worst team in the division. The New England Patriots, no question, will be the worst team.
Yeah.
But I actually think Stephon Diggs going to Houston helped Buffalo. I think it's going to open up a bunch of pieces. They got Marquez Valdez Scantling,
Yeah.
a very fast receiver from KC. Plus, they got the best player in the whole division, Josh Allen. I'm going Buffalo.
Oh yeah.
And that's kind of a hard pick because one thing I will say about the dorsal fins over there is that they have the best receiving core in all of football.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And Tua is very capable of getting it there, but he's fragile too.
Oh yeah.
I don't believe in him.
He
He's
died on
got
the
the best
he almost died
pieces.
on the field the other day.
Yes,
Yeah.
he's got the best pieces in all of football, and he can't get them out of Kansas City. Okay, I'm not going to totally hold that against them because of where they finished, of course. But I don't. I like your team, but I like Buffalo better now that all their drama went somewhere else.
Yeah.
And Josh Allen's not going to have to worry about somebody yelling at him for not getting him the football. Enough of that nonsense. So he'll be able to focus more, and I believe in Buffalo for that division.
All right, so we disagree so far on
All
both
right,
of the AFC
let's
divisions.
go.
Let's go to the South now. We
Hey,
have Tennessee, Indianapolis, Jacksonville, and Houston. We'll go with you, Brandon.
this was not hard at all to pick. Everything I just said about Stephon Diggs, he's a great player. You know, he's very fast. He's a great route runner. I'm going the Houston Texans, and I actually think I have them going away in that division, but not because of Diggs. Nico Collins, Tank Dell, Dalton Schultz, Joe Mixon from the Cincinnati Bengals over here, and a CJ Stroud that is an incredible regular season quarterback. And note why I said regular season. We just don't know yet. So I'm definitely taking Houston to run away with that. I'm gonna take the Colts because I just don't know what they are. I know what Tennessee is. I still think they're gonna be good. They have a great defense. They're still going to be able to run the ball well because they'll have fresh young running backs now. Because I don't know what Indianapolis is. So that's kind of, it could be either one of those, but I'm definitely going to go Houston to win the division.
I think I agree. I think
Okay.
Houston just kills that division. I think they probably go 6-0 against those other teams. I think Jacksonville,
Could be good.
yeah, well, they are good.
Okay.
Jacksonville is, I think, strong, and nobody's really talking about them. I think it's Trevor Lawrence. It's really hard to, not like Trevor Lawrence. Indianapolis, yeah. I mean, what are they exactly? I
Anthony
mean,
Richardson is what you have to
mhm,
depend on. Now,
yeah,
I think he's going to be a great player, but he's coming off of a really major injury at a
exactly,
young age. I mean, that has to
exactly.
mess with you a little bit.
In Tennessee, I mean, it's just hard for me to take a team that doesn't have a superstar. Like they're not bad at anything, but they
No.
don't have a superstar. And when does a team ever win without a superstar?
So
It's really that simple.
I've
So
never seen one.
yeah, I think Houston wins that division, just
Yeah, okay.
rolling
We're
away.
on the same
Yeah,
page.
just rolling away. That leads us to the last division that we'll talk about,
All
which is the
right.
AFC West, and what I'm just gonna say was the easiest one to pick.
Yeah.
Like it didn't even click in my mind to pick any other team, and so I'm taking the Chiefs naturally, and the other three teams in that division are Denver, Las Vegas, and the Chargers. Las Vegas, probably the number one pick next year. The Chargers, not sold on them. I love the Harbaugh hiring. I like what they've done. I just don't know. I don't know if they have what it takes to even compete really with the Chiefs yet. And Denver, I actually love what Denver's doing. I actually love what
Bo
they
Nix.
have Bo Nix, who is in his prime. Usually a quarterback hits their prime when they're about 28, 29, which
Yeah.
I think is how old Bo Nix is right now. The dude was in college since I was in middle school. So I actually do love what Denver's doing. I actually love what Denver's doing.
Yes.
But again, they can't compete with T Swizzle and the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
It's just that.
It's Taylor Swift's team.
It's just that simple, man. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say you probably agree with that.
Of course, I agree with it, but there is one thing I disagree with you on.
Yeah.
You said the Las Vegas Raiders would have the number one pick.
Yeah.
I disagree completely.
Hmm.
They're going to have the number two pick.
Oh, okay. So there you go. Either way. Either way. Yeah.
And I can't get behind Justin Herbert anymore.
No.
I'm out. Okay, his first 2 or 3 years, I'm like, this is that next guy, that next dude. I'm like, this guy can sling the ball a mile. He's got dogs. I get it. You got Harbaugh now, and this man has spun crap into gold a few times, but he had Colin Kaepernick when he was good. You're not him.
No.
You're not going to be him. They could compete for the bottom of the division again. I'm
Yeah.
not a fan of
Yeah.
the Chargers.
Yeah.
I'm really not.
No, yeah.
But Kansas City, I actually think will get the 1 seed.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I do. And and listen, of course they're great. I mean, they don't really need us to talk about them right now. They did lose some pieces, but when you got that dude, Patrick Mahomes, the next GOAT, or the GOAT in training, I should say, I can't give him the GOAT yet. That's
Oh,
still
no.
TB12.
It's not even close.
Well,
It's still
you
not
have
even
a
close,
lot of
dude.
Kansas City followers that you can't talk to rationally, and they swear a guy with 3 championships is better than a guy with 7 championships, especially when 7 championships beat 3 championships in a Super
Brady
Bowl.
literally had a dynasty for 6 years. Took a couple years where they were just above average, and then had another dynasty. Then leaves and wins another Super Bowl with another team. It's not even a question.
He went to 10 of them.
Yeah, he played 22
And he had the opportunity, honest to God, to go to 12 to 13. There was a few last second
That's what I'm saying,
plays
yeah,
to
that's what I'm
stop
saying,
that.
yeah.
But we're not talking about
No,
that.
no,
We're
yeah.
talking about this year.
Yeah.
But I do think Patrick Mahomes is absolutely that dude right now. And I don't know if he'll ever be the GOAT, but I do know he is the closest chance out of anybody. So hands down, KC runs it. They'll clinch by week 11.
All right, so I mean, yeah, I agree with that.
Maybe not week 11,
They
but
they're
it'll be
they're
close.
clinching now. Let's just go
They
ahead and
clinched
yeah,
already?
yeah, just go ahead and give it to them. So out of the AFC, I had Baltimore, Miami, Houston, and Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
And you also had Houston and Kansas City. The ones that we disagreed on were, though, you had Cincinnati and Buffalo. So we disagreed on 3 total, 3 out of 8.
right.
So things could get a little interesting between us. Bold predictions for the AFC. We'll start off with the bad side this time.
The
And
bad side?
I'll go first.
Go
So
right ahead.
my prediction for the bad side is the Buffalo Bills just really poorly. They do bad. I think Buffalo I think they could just have a really bad year, man. And I don't think they're a bad team. I think maybe things happen, injuries. I don't know. Whatever happens, I don't know. But I think in my mind, I see Buffalo going like 6-11. I think they just really just forget how to play football this year, and it's gonna be a tough time up there for Buffalo, man. I really do. I think that's why I think Miami and the Jets are the two teams to beat in that division. I don't think it's Buffalo. I think Buffalo just falls apart, man.
All right, so my turn for the bad.
Yeah.
Jacksonville.
Oh yeah.
I've watched good Trevor Lawrence and I've watched bad Trevor Lawrence. And last year at the end of the season was bad Trevor Lawrence. I mean, they literally let the Pittsburgh Steelers backdoor themselves in the playoffs that they had no business being in whatsoever. All because they lost, what, 5 out of 6?
Something
You
like
know, the one, yeah, it was. The one team that Jacksonville beat, Carolina.
that.
I mean, this team trended just like the Eagles did last year, except I think the Eagles have more talent.
Yeah.
They did just get Gabe Davis, but you're going to need a lot more than that. I mean, I think Travis Etienne's a good player, but I don't know how much I really believe in Trevor Lawrence anymore. I mean, he has time to develop and get good, but that's also why it's a bold pick. He could be good. I know he can throw a football,
Yeah. Oh
but I've all his bad side is bad.
yeah. No, that.
So, all right, and here's the boldest prediction of all.
Okay. So all right. Oh, okay. All right.
The team is predicted to be bad but could be good, New England Patriots.
I mean,
Yeah, listen, this is the longest of shots right here, but I think Drake May is good,
oh
and
yeah.
I think he has Ramondre Stevenson. He has good tight ends, and he has a few good receivers. The only thing that scares me is they have a brand new coach not named Belichick, is Gerard Mayo. But
If
Gerard Mayo was a big believer in defense. That's what it's going to take for this team. But if they can maintain the ball and keep their offense on the field, or excuse me, the defense get off the field fast, they could be decent. I mean, like I said, I wanted to go with a serious long shot here.
I think if Belichick was still the coach, I could fully 100% get behind this. But he's not, and I just don't know if I will say this: Drake May is unbelievable
Yeah.
because if he was not at Carolina the last couple of years, they would have had 3 wins total. I truly believe he's the reason they won almost every game, and I do think he is the best rookie quarterback out there. I think Drake May should have been the number 1 pick. I think he is unbelievable. I just, it's hard for me to see, but that's a
There's no film on him. You can't take a play. I mean, you can, but I mean, that's a whole different speed and usually a different offensive formation that he's going to play. But when there's really no good film on a guy, it's going to be hard to really game plan for that in the beginning. I mean,
yeah.
hey, Mac Jones was 11-1 at one point.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So why not Drake May?
Yeah, talk
Why
about
not?
being MVP. I mean, I like it. I like that bold prediction. That's what we're all about here. I
It's
mean,
bold. I think that's the
Yeah.
boldest prediction made, but who knows?
yeah, that's
It
probably a
makes it
little. That's
great.
probably a little more bold than me picking the
Come on,
Lions to be.
come
bad.
on, come on, comment.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on, comments. I rip me apart. I want to battle with you.
Yeah,
Let's go.
we both definitely had a super bold
Yeah,
prediction.
your Detroit
yeah.
pick was special.
Yeah. My prediction for the AFC, a team that's going to be good that nobody's really talking about, is I took Indianapolis.
Okay.
I think the Colts. I think there could be a world in which the Colts compete with Houston possibly and get up there. And I think Anthony Richardson could be that guy. He
Mhm.
could be. We don't know, and I could be 100% wrong. He might totally suck, but I think Anthony Richardson could be good. I think that team. I like what that team has. They still have a great running game.
Mhm.
They still have a pretty solid defense, I think. So yeah, I think the Colts, man. I think the Colts could make the playoffs. I think the Colts could be up there. Could I be totally wrong and they end up with like a top 6 or 7 draft pick? Absolutely.
Mhm.
But that's why we call it a bold prediction. So there you go. That's our predictions. Those are
Not
what we
bad.
predict. We predicted some hot takes. We got the winners of each division. Let's move on to some awards before we get to our
Hey,
playoffs.
All right.
Rookie of the year. We'll start off with Rookie of the Year. I'm going to take, and I really just hate that I'm going to take it, but I feel like sometimes this is just a popularity contest. So I'm just going to take Caleb Williams. I think, I just think, I do like kind of what Chicago has, and I think he could put up some good numbers,
Mhm.
and I think he could have some good games. Do I think he's the best rookie out there? Absolutely not. Do I think he's the best rookie quarterback? Absolutely not. But again, I think it's a popularity contest.
Situation.
Yes, and I think if he just puts up mediocre numbers and the Bears finish with 6, 7 wins, he's the rookie of the year. So I wanted to take Neighbors. I wanted to take Marvin Harrison, who I think is the best rookie
Hey,
player. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Caleb Williams.
all right.
Yeah.
Remember everything you said about the Commanders earlier in the show?
No,
No?
I mean they're bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what people don't realize is I watch a lot of SEC. I watch a lot of college football because
Oh yeah.
I don't really have a huge dog in the fight in college football. I mean, I'm a Duke fan and I really pull for them in football, but let's face it, there's nothing. Give me two good ranked teams and I'm in front of the TV. Jalen Daniels for the Commanders. God, I want to call them the Redskins so bad I can't stand it.
I'm okay with that. I
I
support
know.
that. Yeah.
Hey, good. So
We're
Jalen,
wearing their colors, by the way. So I'm just saying.
I look more like Kansas City. You look more like Redskins.
Well, whatever.
I think Jalen Daniels is an absolute stud. He was a stud at LSU. He's got a big arm. He still has some decent targets out there. He still has Terry McLaurin.
Yeah.
I mean, they did draft some good players on defense. So, I mean, I think that he's going to put up some ridiculous numbers, and the Commanders are going to be a little bit better than people think. I mean, so it's not necessarily about the most wins. It can be mainly about the biggest stats. I mean, Cam Newton got Rookie of the Year,
Yeah.
and they were 6-10.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's
Yeah.
really all about the numbers they can put up, and Jalen Daniels is going to throw some numbers up. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
So
I'd be okay
that's
with
my
that.
call.
I would support that. I'd be
All
okay with
right,
that. I like the Washington football team. I'd be okay if they do well.
football team.
Yeah, I refuse to call them. What is their name?
Commanders.
Yeah, I refuse that. I refuse. I refuse. I love the Washington football team. I think that was
Yes.
the best sports name ever.
Looked weird when I saw it in person.
Yeah, but man, it's what a great name. So that's the rookie of the year that we predict. The other award that we're gonna predict is the MVP.
Oh, okay.
I'll let you go first on
My
this one.
turn?
Yeah, you're
Oh
gonna go
my
first this time.
gosh.
Yeah.
And I hate predicting players and for teams I just don't like and I
Oh,
want them to
yeah.
lose, but
So okay.
I'm going Joey Burrow. I'm going that guy.
Yeah, good pick.
Yeah, I think they'll get the 2 seed, but I think Joe Burrow's going to throw up some crazy numbers, and especially since he got hurt last year and that team was still good. Wait till you see what he can do. Well, he's already been to a Super Bowl. The guy has one of the absolute best arms in the league.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think he's the second best quarterback in the NFL.
Oh wow.
I honestly, I really do. I think when he is on, he is an absolute magician with the ball. Plus, he has good talent. That
Oh
helps
yeah.
him out
Oh
too.
yeah.
But no, he can make any receiver good. So I'm going Joey Burrow.
Wow. I don't oppose that at all. I'm also taking the quarterback because
Hey.
this is a quarterback award.
It is.
It's disguised as an MVP, but it's really the best quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to take a quarterback.
If you're logical.
Yeah, you had to take quarterback. I mean, it hasn't been anything other than that in a while. It hasn't been a defensive player in 40 years.
Yes.
I'm taking a guy that I also hate. So there's that. So we're both taking guys that we don't like.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm taking what I'm gonna call the media darling this year, and that's Jordan Love.
I was gonna say Taylor Swift.
No,
Oh,
no,
okay.
Jordan Love I think is the MVP, and it continues the string of Packer quarterbacks that people love. You had Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, and now Jordan Love, and I think just the fact that the people on TV seem to love Green Bay,
Yeah.
and they love when Green Bay is good, and I think they win that division. I just think Jordan Love gets it just because of that. I don't think he puts up the best numbers. I don't think he does anything spectacular. But I think he just gets it because they're going to be like, holy crap, Green Bay's back. Because I think Green Bay might get the number 1 seed. I think Green Bay could be the number 1 seed. So I think they're going to be like, oh, Green Bay's number 1 seed. We got to give it to their quarterback. It's only right. I mean, Aaron Rodgers had like 12 MVPs.
Mm-hmm.
Brett Favre had a couple. So you have to give one to Jordan Love. So yeah, I'm taking Jordan Love.
I don't hate your pick. Let's not forget something here. The San Francisco 49ers barely got into the Super Bowl 2 times last year.
Yeah.
Green Bay had them beat and choked away a lead. Detroit had a lead and choked away a lead. And both those, and trust me, I watched Jordan Love absolutely dismantle what was supposed to be a great Dallas defense. I don't hate your pick.
Yeah.
I really don't. And he's in the right conference.
Yeah.
That's the
That
biggest thing.
helps.
If you want to go to the Super Bowl, go to the NFC.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. So there you go.
all right.
We disagreed on both in awards that we predicted. So
Mm-hmm.
that's good. That's good. I like it. I like it. Now we're going to predict the title games. Who's going to
Hey,
play in them and who's going to win them.
all
So
right.
I'll start with NFC. Um, I'm just going to go with what I feel like is an NFC title game almost every year. I'm just going to go with the 49ers. Going to go into Lambeau.
Chalk.
49ers are going to go into Lambeau and beat the Packers to make the Super Bowl. I feel like I feel like I could pick that every year almost,
It's a
but
good safe pick.
yeah, yeah, and I hate myself. I originally wanted something different. I originally wanted to take the Packers,
All
but
right.
then I was like, I cannot pick the Packers. And also, I just find it hysterical when they have a great quarterback, a great offense,
Mm-hmm.
and they still don't make the Super Bowl. I think it's an age-old tradition. It's kind of like the Red Sox not winning a World Series for 86 years. It's the Packers not winning a Super Bowl when they have the best offense, the best quarterback. So yeah, I'm taking the Niners in Lambeau over the Packers to make the Super Bowl.
It's very possible. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say you're wrong and you're crazy. No, I mean, listen, that's a good chalky pick.
Yeah.
But I also, like I just talked about a second ago, that 49ers team, honest to goodness, really could have gone home to Green Bay, and then they should have gone home to Detroit. They are not that invincible. Yes, they have incredible talent. No, we don't even need to explain how good Debo, C-Mac, Fred Warner, Ayuk. Notice I'm not saying Brock Purdy. And I think that has a lot to do with it too.
I like Brock
So,
Purdy. I think he is really good.
oh, okay.
I don't think he's a top five, but I think he's good enough.
Good enough gets you second place a lot.
I mean, Trent Dilfer has a Super Bowl.
He does.
Yeah.
Well, that the Baltimore Ravens, Ray Lewis, Ed
Just saying.
Reed
Just saying.
defense.
Just saying.
I, yes, it is true, but you still need points to win.
Yeah.
However,
Brad Johnson has one. Who had one for Tampa Bay?
Brad
Yeah,
Johnson,
there you
you're
go. Yeah,
right.
Brad Johnson has one. Yeah. So
So,
yeah.
but I love your picks.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You're gonna go with this.
Absolutely.
Are you gonna go with this? Who are you picking for the NFC?
I am going to pick in the title game. We're going to be watching it in Detroit and Philadelphia.
Hmm.
That's who we're going to be watching.
Detroit and Philadelphia.
And Detroit is going to slay that beast.
Wow.
Jahmyr Gibbs is going to carry
Huh.
them. Listen, I'm telling everybody right now, assuming he doesn't get hurt, Jared Goff is still a good quarterback. They still have great talent. I'm telling you, I believe in that coach. I'm going Detroit Lions over the Eagles in Detroit, and they get the 1 seed.
Wow.
They get the 1 seed because I don't think they're divided. Like they only need to worry about the Packers.
Yeah. Yeah.
They have no need to fear the Vikings or the Bears. They have a great pass rusher in Aiden Hutchinson.
I really like him.
And he's an absolute stud, and they're only getting better. If people need to realize another thing about the NFL, you know what's starting to win it? The great quarterback and the great tight end. They have Sam Laporte as an absolute stud. I'm not going to call Jared Goff great, but I'm going to call him really good. Good enough, kind of what he just said. Absolutely good enough. The guy can sling the ball when he needs to. Seen him make plenty of bonehead plays too. But at the same time, last year they didn't lose that game to the 49ers because of him.
No, yeah, definitely not.
By not. He might have made one or two mistakes at the most, but so did Purdy, and they still found a way to win.
Yeah.
So I think this is the year that Detroit takes down the Eagles, and I think that's your 1 and 2 seed in the NFC.
Well, there we go. I also think my game is the 1 and 2 seeds,
Okay.
Green Bay and San Fran. So there you go. So we got different teams coming out of the NFC. Let's go with the AFC. We'll let you start this time.
All right. Here's my chalky pick. The Cincinnati Bengals go into Kansas City and do what nobody in this chat, I'm probably going to get slaughtered for this, and I hope so. And this is not easy for me. Remember, I hate this team. But I also realize when somebody's really good and they have a bunch of talent. Cincinnati goes into Kansas City and they get the win on a last second field goal. And they go to the Super Bowl to face the Detroit Lions.
I mean, Okay, there you go. I mean, Cincinnati, I can maybe see
I'm getting
that.
behind them this year.
I mean, they do got a great team, and they're proving that when healthy, they can get there.
Yes, that's the
Yeah,
whole huge asterisk here.
yeah, and I mean, that would be a fun Super Bowl, Detroit and
Yes.
Cincinnati, and that would be a great AFC title game also.
They've
So I
already
had a
done it once,
yeah, I had a great NFC title game. You have a
twice.
great twice, I think. Yeah, you
Yeah.
had a great AFC title game. I mean, I like that pick. I think that would
Okay.
be a fantastic. I think that would be a fantastic title game. I'm gonna go. I also have the number one seed playing in the title game.
Okay.
Yeah, Baltimore.
All right.
Yeah, Baltimore. And they're losing.
Oh,
They're losing.
again?
Yeah, I have the number one seed losing again. Because I had the Packers losing, and I
Is
have
this a,
Baltimore just losing again.
is
Also,
this a sequel?
no,
Oh, oh.
no. Kansas City, I think, loses before the AFC title game. I think Taylor Swift's run is over. I think Travis Kelce's very upset that they get divorced
Mm-hmm.
September 28th, from all reports that I've been reading.
Okay.
So I think Baltimore, as the one seed, loses to the Houston Texans. I'm taking Houston to make their first Super Bowl. I think somehow they beat Baltimore because Lamar Jackson can't play in the playoffs. I think that's just another age-old tradition, like the Packers losing. Like I think both my Super Bowl teams, the Niners and the Houston Texans, win their games just because the other teams lose.
All
Green Bay
right.
loses because that's what they do. Lamar Jackson loses because that's what he does. And I just really believe in C.J. Stroud, which really, really upsets me.
Okay.
But well, he's an Ohio State quarterback.
Yeah.
And they're not supposed to be good in the NFL. They're not supposed to be good in the NFL. So I am taking Houston over Baltimore. I also really just don't want Stephon Diggs to make the Super Bowl. I don't really, I'm still bitter over his ending in Minnesota. But yeah, I'm taking Houston over Baltimore.
I'm
Man.
pulling
Yeah.
for your story. I mean it. I mean it. I am pulling. So I would love that. There is nothing I would love more
Yeah, not
than
in-
to see Mahomes and Burrow
Yeah.
both pack their bags and don't go to wherever they're holding it next.
Yeah, and this was
So
totally
I'm a
not.
fan of your story
Yeah,
there.
and if we did this show 7 hours ago, I totally had something different.
Oh no.
I would have had Green Bay and Kansas City in the Super Bowl. But then I was like,
I hate your pick.
but then
there.
the more I thought about it, I was like, I don't think Kansas City. It's hard to win three in a row, man.
All right, that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
And the pressure of this, and they're going to be talking about it all year. The pressure's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, Tom Brady won 7, but how many did he go to?
Yeah, 10.
10.
Yeah.
So that means he lost 3, which means pressure is real and things do
I
happen.
mean, when's the last time a team won three in a row?
Never.
Oh, there you go.
Never.
Yeah, there
It's
you go.
never done
There
it.
you go. There you go. So it's
Not even the Cowboys
yeah.
when they went on their
That's what I'm
run in the
saying.
90s.
I think so I talked myself out of it. In the 7 hours we waited to do the show. I was like,
I'm
you know
with
what? Yeah. And then I just couldn't pick the Packers because well, I just find it hilarious when they lose in the playoffs. So, I need some kind of enjoyment. So now let's get to the Super Bowl.
All
Let's get to
right.
the Super Bowl. I'm going to go with my prediction first. I have the Houston Texans playing the San Francisco 49ers.
Yes, you do.
Which could be a very small watch Super Bowl because I don't think those two teams are going to get a lot of regular. There's no Taylor Swift. I think San Francisco finally gets over that hump and pulls it out. I think they just play a team that maybe shouldn't even be there. As much as I think Houston's a good team, a really good team, I don't know if they should actually be in the Super Bowl. I think, like I said, I think they get there just because Baltimore loses. I think Houston's kind of like my default pick. They're kind of like, oh, okay, they're there. And I think San Francisco just gives it to them. I think this could be like,
Oh, a lopsided
yeah,
one.
this could be like Denver and Carolina. This could be like, 38-6 or something. This could be
Jeez.
just a ridiculous Super Bowl. But I'm going to be happy for San Francisco to finally pull it out because I feel like they deserve one. They've been so close. I think that's a fun team to watch. They all seem to be good guys. You don't see them out there
Huh.
doing stupid stuff. And I think they finally just get over the hump and they finally pull it out. And that's my prediction for the 2025 Super Bowl, San Francisco 49ers. Congrats. I think that'll be the first time they've won since I've been watching football. They'll be beating the Houston Texans.
I'd be happy for Kittle. Kittle
Yeah.
just looks like such a likable guy.
Yeah.
He looked like he'd be the best dude ever to hang out with
Dude,
at a party
You take
or dinner.
I could have dinner with three of their players. You
Yes.
could have Kittle, McCaffrey, and Purdy. And I'd be like, this is
All
a
right.
fun dinner. This is fun.
Give me
This is
Fred
awesome.
Warner.
There you go, Fred and Warner. That'd be cool too.
Another stud.
Give me their coach.
Oh, Shanahan?
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm down. Yeah. So
All right.
yeah, man, I'll be happy to see San Fran hold up the Lombardi Trophy at the end of the year.
Right,
And
right.
sorry, Houston, it's just
Hey,
you're just kind of you're Houston's a team that's there. Like
I
they're
get
just
it.
they're there. I don't know. Yeah,
We obviously can't predict how the seeding goes, but I think Houston won't get past Cincy, obviously. But
yeah, and I mean
hey,
it's
I like your pick.
I
San
think
Fran over Houston for Justin.
I definitely think there's teams that Houston can't beat, but I think in my world, every
Hey,
team they play is just a perfect matchup for them. Yeah.
they might actually be the most talented football team as a whole.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
really may.
Yeah.
I
And there's
mean, if
no
you
there's
average all their talents together, they may be the highest.
and there's zero pressure on them.
Yeah.
Nobody even cares if Houston. Nobody even knows where. Nobody even really knows like what their uniforms look like. Like I mean, honestly, I don't even know what their logo is. I mean, they've been around for 23 years or whatever.
Hmm.
I don't even know. To me, they're still the expansion team. I'm shocked that they win more than 3 games, but in my world, they make the Super Bowl this year.
I mean, J.J. Watt is one of the most famous players to ever play the game, and I totally forgot he even played in Houston. That's how forgettable they
I
are.
thought he was a
So,
Cardinal. I don't know. I thought he
he
was a Cardinal.
finished as a Cardinal.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. I mean, they had that one receiver for a while.
Oh, yeah. Andre Johnson.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. David Carr. They had David Carr.
Oh, what a great pick.
Yeah, nice guy, man. Yeah, nice guy.
I love your picks. They're good. They're like, put it this way, I wouldn't hate taking a ticket out in Vegas on that pick.
Perfect. Well,
But the odds were right.
let's get to your prediction. You got a very stacked Super Bowl, one that's
have-
going to be highly watched.
Yes.
Detroit and Cincinnati.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I believe in this one.
Yeah.
And who I think is going to win.
This could be a first time, right? First time neither team's won.
Either. First time Detroit's ever been. First time Cincy for the win.
Yeah.
It would be their third appearance.
So,
They lost to the Niners in the 80s, and obviously just a few years ago, they lost to the Rams. I'm sorry, they lost to Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
Aaron Donald went manimal on him in that game.
Oh, yeah,
I'll tell you what, Joe Burrow is such a stud and a thoroughbred. You don't forget stuff like that. You want to get back, and you know you're good enough to get back. You know, so I definitely believe that this will be probably one of the best played Super Bowls ever. I think they end in the 30s. I see a 34-31 kind of game. Both teams have very capable offenses and decent defenses. Like, okay, it'll kind of remind me, like I could see a 7-7 halftime or 10-7 one way or the other. But I would see an absolute game plan explosion out of both teams in the second half.
Was that like the Panthers and Rams NFC title game?
Yeah, it was exact.
back
Oh,
in
you're
like 03 or
talking
whatever?
20 years back when
Yeah.
they went to their first Super
Yeah.
Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah, the team with the
It was
first
like
half
low
was
scoring.
defense,
Yeah.
and the whole second half was offense. That was also how they went for them in the Super Bowl against New England.
Yeah. I only remember the
Same
John
thing.
Casey kick out of bounds, but yeah.
But 34-31, and the winner is Cincinnati.
Man, so you're
Cincinnati
you're gonna
takes
break
down,
you're gonna-
yes,
oof.
Chris Brower,
Man, that's
Bryantville, if you ever watch. Oh, you
Cincinnati.
guys, I know that you love the Lions, and boy, do I want to be wrong. I promise I'd be cheering with you. But this is not a heart pick.
I mean,
This
I would
is
totally be going for Cincinnati.
This is a head pick. You're just that dude. That's
Yeah.
why we love you. I got Cincinnati edging you out. I got Cincinnati going all the way. Joe Burrow is just too good of a quarterback.
So you have your
to not
MVP.
get one.
You have your MVP winning the
I
Super Bowl.
have Joe Burrow winning, doing what Cam Newton couldn't
That
do.
doesn't happen very often, man. Yeah.
I have him finishing what Cam Newton could not do.
I mean, I like it. Your prediction's very solid, and I believe in yours a lot more than I believe in mine.
Okay, wow, okay.
And that would be a fun Super Bowl. I'd be okay with that Super Bowl, honestly. If
Sure.
Cincinnati beats Detroit, I'd be happy with that. I would watch that game. If it's my game, San Francisco and Houston, I would probably just.
I would love that. It'd be an incredible game to watch.
I would eat some good food and watch for the commercials.
Oh, I'm not with you on that bus.
Who's
but
the halftime performance this year?
I won't.
Taylor Swift,
I
I
never
guess, right?
watch
Yeah.
it. I don't care. That's how I just don't care. I go eat food. I go play a game on my phone. I
Same.
don't care. I
Same.
only want to watch the game. And the commercials to a point. About the third quarter, they get repetitive and stupid.
Yeah.
So, but that's where I'm at with it. I got Cincy, Detroit, and you got the Niners and Texans.
Yeah.
They're both good picks.
Yeah, both good picks,
Yes.
both different. I like that we're different. I like that we did not choose the same. Again, we disagreed on 3 division winners.
Okay.
The 3 that we disagreed on was the AFC East. I had Miami. You had Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
The AFC North, I had Baltimore. You had Cincinnati.
Okay.
And then the NFC North, I had Green Bay and you had Detroit. The other divisions, we were the same. We had the Eagles Atlanta, San Francisco, Houston, and Kansas City. So we kind of agree on some things. We disagree on a lot of other things.
We'll throw another prediction out there. My Super Bowl is the battle of one seeds.
And mine's would be like the
Oh, do
two
you have
seed
one?
40. Well, you said battle of the one seeds.
Yeah,
Mine's the 49ers is the two seed.
two seed.
Houston would be like the four.
Oh yeah.
The three or the four. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I
I have both.
absolutely see
I have
that.
both one seeds losing at home in the title games. Yeah, just because I think it's hysterical and
Hey, it's what makes it our picks in our show.
yeah, I like to live in a world full of like humor and
Yes.
I like to see things continue. Like I don't want a team that hasn't won in a long time to win. I like to see kind of the same teams like so I don't really want Detroit to win. They haven't won in 200 years. I don't really want to see them win. Green Bay loses all the time in the playoffs. I
Yeah.
kind of want that to continue. Lamar Jackson can't play in January. I like that trend. So there you go. I kind of like it. I mean, I'm sticking by my pick.
Yes.
Let's go San Fran. I got the colors on. See, I coordinated, buddy. I got
Yes.
close. This is the closest I could get, but I got
I'm
close.
not pulling for you, Cincinnati. Let's not get this twisted and confused whatsoever. If you went 0-17, I would absolutely come back on this show and just say,
And I
that's exactly what I would do. But I try to be a logical picker of sports.
if any team wants to go 0-17, I'm all for it.
Yes.
I'm all for it. I'm going to
Oh,
cheer
just
for you to
make it
lose.
great.
Once you get to like 0-8, I'm cheering against you every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would be awesome.
I'll be the first one to laugh at my own picks. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Yeah, especially if it's a team like Cincinnati.
But
That would be
no,
hysterical.
but I think they're just a great team, and I think they're well coached, and you know, I just absolutely think that is a team full of studs in every direction.
Yes, oh yeah, they do for sure. They do. They're one of the most stacked
Yes.
teams.
They would have probably won the division if Burrow didn't get hurt. They were absolutely
Oh,
heading that way.
Yeah. They were the best team in that division last year for sure.
When Burrow played, yes.
Yeah. So that's our predictions, man. We'll come back, I guess, in a few months and check in and see how we're doing or see how bad we're doing. And yeah, y'all just make sure to comment and tell us how wrong we are, or tell us
Oh,
how
make it good, guys. Come
Yeah.
on.
or tell us how right we are.
Tell us your picks. I want to
Yeah.
hear your picks, experts.
Yeah, let's hear.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's hear y'all's picks. But yeah, Sportball guys, that was it. Episode number 2. We'll find a good topic to talk about next time. There's a lot of good sports things coming up. We're getting into that time of the year.
It's not that far away from college basketball.
Yeah,
season. I'm just going to point that out.
Yeah, also got NBA coming up.
My turn, college
Yeah.
basketball season.
Yeah, got NBA coming up. Got a whole bunch of stuff coming up. Major League Baseball playoffs, which I'm excited about. So yeah, we got a bunch of stuff coming up. It's gonna be a lot of fun. And yeah, y'all just find us on YouTube, Sportball guys. And I'm Justin.
I'm Brandon.
Check you later.
Until the next time.